So I just thought we would start with, what is an archetype? What's the definition? So an archetype is a pattern that connects the people of the world across time and culture. The idea of the archetype was conceived by Swiss psychoanalyst Carl Jung. In writing, archetypes are characters or symbols that are recognizable irrespective of their place or time of origin. The cool thing about archetypes is,
that's a huge thought.
The people in Japan know what a hero is, and
yeah,
it's cross-cultural, and it's not bound by time or style, right? So, and these all occur subconsciously, that we all sort of just understand this. So, the idea that it's cross-cultural is really fascinating, I think. So it's like, this is just a human experience,
right?
Period. It's not regional. It's not, yeah. So,
yeah,
which is why it's so is powerful and has such deep roots,
Yeah.
So, we talked about, obviously you can use archetypes in the songwriting process, in filmmakers, screenwriters, but I just think it's interesting that brands fall under these archetypes. So, if we look, can you see over here the Explorer? Okay, so the North Face, which is like a clothing company, right?
Can you take a run around the bases and just hit on the archetypes real quick?
Okay, yeah. Well, so they're listed here on the left. So the 12 major archetypes, according to Carl Jung, are the innocent, sage, explorer, the outlaw, the magician, the hero, the lover, the jester, the everyman, which I think is funny, is Target falls under the everyman brand, or the everyman archetype. The caregiver, the ruler, and the creator. So in my world, in the songwriting world, the ones that get used a lot are the hero and the outlaw. Now you can think of the outlaw, sometimes it's also referred to as the rebel. So the hero, the outlaw, the explorer is a big one for commercials.
Right.
Were you going to say something?
Interesting. So everything is distilled down to these 12 archetype characters. Yeah. Interesting. I've heard of king, warrior, magician, lover, but I've never seen all 12 of these.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the king would be obviously the ruler. There's some interchangeable names, how they name them.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, now if we look around the wheel here, it's like, oh my gosh, this is a no-brainer. Like, of course, Dove, who's body care soap, would be the innocent, which is also the caregiver. Apple being the creator. I mean, you're like, yeah, they're super creative. And Google being the sage. Google's got all of the information, on the internet cataloged, and
for better or for worse.
Yeah, right. To varying degrees of, but like the North Face, the Explorer, I like to write. So it's funny because certain styles of music fall under, they lend themselves to be used under certain archetypes. So
yeah.
I like writing like just fun pop stuff that's kind of happy clappy and it's got a smile to it. And the Explorer archetype, if you think of like even the, Jeep, the brand Jeep, and what they sell, they're selling a lifestyle, and so is the North Face, of exploration and of getting out there and seizing the day, go hiking, go on a road trip, get out in the mountains, get outdoors. That's an explorer mindset.